Hey guys, welcome to Heat, Happy Energy, Amor Tarot. So today we are going to have a conversation between the masculine and the feminine. What they feel, what they regret, what they avoid. Maybe they were never able to say something out loud, something around that. Think of this as listening to a conversation that maybe they are having at a soul level. Now, you can be resonating with the masculine or the feminine, irrespective of the gender. Whichever energy you resonate with, the other person's energy is the other one. So, we will start with the masculine. The masculine says justice. He begins from a place of awareness and balance, not defense. What he's saying here is that I know I wasn't fair. I know there were moments where I tipped the scales in my favor and called it circumstances or timing. Looking back now, I can see that you showed up with honesty, and I kept trying to balance my guilt instead of my actions. I see now the fairness isn't about, you know, intention, it's about consistency, and I wasn't consistent with you. So the masculine is here acknowledging the imbalance without yet owning the emotional cost. This is accountability forming. Late but real is what I would say. The feminine says emperor. Feminine responds very calmly, firmly, without pleading, without begging. Yes, you are right. And that's exactly why I had to step into my own structure, why I had to step into the masculine. I had to become the man. I'm no longer in a space where I'm waiting for balance to be restored by someone else. I have taken charge of the situation of my life myself. I had to become my own stability, my own authority, my own safe space because, well, you did not want to be that. I'm not here to argue about fairness anymore. I'm here to protect what I rebuilt. This is not anger, this is self preservation, self protection. If you're feeling this conversation in your body, not just listening to it, do subscribe to the channel. The masculine says Two of Wands. The masculine shifts uncertain, reflective. I can see the distance now. I'm standing here wondering what could have been, what path I should have chosen differently. There were moments where I thought that, maybe I should move forward with you, move towards you fully. But I kept looking over horizon instead of committing to what I wanted or where I wanted us to be. I didn't know how to choose, so I stood still and called it thinking. This is regret mixed with indecision, awareness without any movement. The feminine says Queen of Pentacles. Do you see how she's sitting? I don't know if you can see clearly, but she's like, okay, whatever. She's answering with self-respect here. While you were deciding, I was surviving. I learned how to hold myself, how to nurture myself, how to stay soft without staying exposed. I became careful with my energy, not closed, just discerning. I stopped investing where there was no return, emotionally or otherwise. I didn't harden, I just matured. This is emotional wealth earned the hard way. The masculine says, Seven of Swords. This is so typical. Um, Now, the truth comes out uncomfortable and honest with Seven of Swords. I avoided showing you everything, not because I didn't care, but I didn't want to face who I was when I wasn't enough. I did not want any confrontations. I know I have not been transparent. I told myself half truths as well. I convinced myself silence was safer than accountability, and that's why So many times I ghosted you, I went hot and cold with you. And yes, I treated the connection like something I could step in and out of instead of something sacred. That is my fault. This is where the mask slips. Now, the feminine says Nine of Cups. This is feminine doesn't collapse. She chooses fulfillment. Again, do you see how she's sitting? She's not bothered about what masculine is saying or doing anymore. She is pretty, she is, doing excellent here. I stopped waiting for emotional scraps. I choose peace over potential, satisfaction over apology. Your apology doesn't matter to me anymore. Also, possibly because you have apologized just too many times and yet you kept doing the same thing over and over again. So, apology doesn't matter anymore. I learned that joy doesn't come from being chosen, it comes from choosing myself without guilt. So far, I kept choosing you, the connection, but now I've decided to choose myself. And honestly, the choice changed everything for me. And this is not ego, this is self honor. Now, the masculine says, Knight of Swords. Well, he grows restless, impulsive, nothing new about it, I think. Well, I want to talk. I want clarity, answers, moment. But I know deep down that rushing in now doesn't undo the silence before. I know I have acted foolishly. Words come easily when the risk feels slower. And I'm realizing speed isn't the same as courage. This is urgency without grounding, is the same energy the masculine normally is in. I love this feminine's energy, okay? Nine of Pentacles. So she had Emperor, Queen of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. Um, Feminine stands unshaken. Again, I mean, look at this. She's like, okay, whatever. I'm going to talk to my bird. I don't care what you're doing in life. This is, I'm no longer available for the chaos disguised in this communication that you want to have, dude. I'm stable in myself, comfortable in my independence, proud of the life I've built. If you come aligned, not anxious. If you speak from clarity, not panic, not confusion, not those same half baked truths. I am not up for all that. I'm not lonely. I am selective here. This is quiet confidence, unshakable. Let's see, what does this conversation want my viewers to understand? King of Swords. Okay, one more thing. Okay, it came up on its own. So, King of Swords is, about the truth here, the the clarity, which is more important over emotion here. King of Swords is about honesty, about being detached while having this conversation. I think you're pretty detached while having this conversation, feminine at least. See, this conversation is asking you to see the situation without any distortion here. Not through longing, not through guilt, but through facts, patterns, and behaviors. The King of Swords says understanding is power. And you already understand more than you think you do. Now the truth of this connection is Emperor. Power is the card. So the truth is about power and structure. This connection was never meant to survive without boundaries. It was a lesson in leadership of self, of standards, of emotional responsibilities. One of you learned that lesson fully. The other one is still learning here, is what I feel. See, there's one thing that this conversation makes clear. When someone shows up with the Seven of Swords energy. It's not always about lying. It's about, sometimes not knowing how to handle depth. And when a person doesn't have this emotional range, honesty, courage for something real, they start reducing what they can't manage. So if this person treated you like an option, like something which is replaceable or easy to overlook, you know, that wasn't because you lacked value. It's because they only know how to handle vanilla. So, yes, treat them like vanilla. Simple, predictable, exactly on the level they operate. And understand this clearly. You are the chocolate here, intense, layered, you know, rich, not for everyone and never meant to be. This conversation wasn't here to reopen a door, it is here to recalibrate your standards. Know your worth, and more importantly, treat yourself like it. That was the reading, guys. Thank you for watching.